Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the player for women's singles semifinal.
欢迎女子运动员入场。
Representing Germany, Sabine Winter.
Sabine Winter, one of the stories of the tournament, dropping just one game in 5 matches, reaching a semi-final for the first time in her Ittf World Cup career. And now her opponent.
Representing China, Yingsha.
And not just any opponent, the reigning 2-time World Cup winner, looking to make a historic 3 in a row. No woman has ever done that before. But Yingsha, as honest as she is talented, said yesterday, after almost exiting at the hands of Hannah Goddard, that it was close, that she just backed herself, that she somehow, after 7 full games, found the match come down to just 2 points. She also knows, and she admitted, she's up against a different quantity in a Sabine Winter who she hasn't played since the German made her change in technique. But Xia's on a 14-match winning streak here in Ittf World Cup table tennis. It's her first meeting with Winter at this event, first ever in a semi-final. She's had to average 4.8 games per match to get here. And as I welcome Fraser Riley to this party on finals day, that's the big factor, isn't it? She knows that head-to-head doesn't count for everything.
It's an absolute honor to be here, John. Absolutely right with what you just said. Yingsha has never played the European #1 since Winter changed her equipment to this anti-spin on the backhand style. Man.
The last time they met, actually, you're right, 2023 Singapore Smash before she made the change. Xia's very smart. She said it in the post-match interview. Difficult opponent for me in the semi-final. Yes, she's won in straight games twice, but that was a different player. And I spoke with Winter as well, the first German to make it to this stage since Patricia Solia did it a long time back now.
In over a decade. I think this match right here promises to be one of the most captivating clashes any table tennis fan could dream of. Cannot wait for this one.
Red or back? Winter back. Soon red. Red with the toss. Side, right side. Okay. Sorry.
There he is. Palut Rang Viriachai, the most charismatic of our umpires. He was there standing during expedite rule yesterday in the Wangman Yu Honoka Hashimoto match. You know, Fraser, you've just said we're in for something spectacular. I don't know how we can top yesterday. It was heart-stopping action. There were 3 matches in which the Chinese faithful feared that their superstars were going to leave. We had all kinds of drama yesterday.
Oh my goodness, I don't know what to say. It was just unbelievable. This is one of the Grand Slam contributing events. The World Cup is one of the big ones. And by Jove, the Chinese have been under the cosh, haven't they? Yingsha saving 2 match points against the princess of Egyptian table tennis, Hannah Goddard. And that, for me, was one of the most emotional matchups I've ever seen.
And if you ever want to know how much this means to Team China, we saw it yesterday. From players to coaches to teammates to fans. The emotion as they fought to survive, they clung on in this World Cup. As improbable as that might have seemed, was just amazing to behold. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Sabine. She is so humble, she's so gracious, but she is also so ruthless these days, and she has looked awesome, dialed in, cruised through the group stage, beat the rising star Chin 4-1, and then beat the world number 2, got past Wang Yidi, a former world number 2. Honestly, she feels like at the moment she can come up against anybody, and there it was, demolished one of the best in the business.
I think it's safe to say that she might be the biggest threat to Team China at this moment in time. It's incredible that she changed her equipment just November 2024, taking down the World Youth Champion and Wang Yidi in 4 straight. Goodness me.
Why was Xia pushed so hard yesterday? Well, you have to give massive credit that Fraser already did to her opponent. 4-3, and she had to fight off 2 match points there. She's also had to come past Kwaiman. So actually, Xia is absolutely battle-hardened. Look at those scenes. You don't see that very often. Marlin, her coach, a 4-time World Cup winner. He was screaming. Oh my goodness. Sends shivers down the spine, goosebump stuff to just recall it. And credit to these players. They've had to now rest, recover, and get ready for semi-finals and maybe final action as well.
There's just so much on the line, especially as we have the World Team Championships in London just around the corner.
Yeah.
This is really, really important for Team China to send a clear message to the rest of the world.
You mentioned that, of course, and this is all happening in ITTF's centenary year as well. It's just a magical event. This week, here in Macao, China, inside this beautiful Galaxy Arena. It's been a privilege to be here, a privilege to work alongside you, Fraser. Let's just get them out there before we get swept away in the drama of the day. Let's have a great day. Wherever you're watching this, thanks for being with us. Enjoy the action.
Double.
Sabine getting all the toys out early on there.
Yeah, how many cards can she keep close to her chest against the most dominant force on the planet right now? Look at that.
How does she play in that backhand again?
Well, she can twiddle. She can play a textbook backhand counter like you'd see from Yingsha, or she'll play the UFO. One of the most famous shots in the game right now.
What? Oh.
Explain that one.
She basically keeps her grip the same, as in she uses her forehand rubber, but she plays it from the backhand side by opening her wrist in a different way, and it's so difficult to do that. We see some of the world's best practicing it in training for fun, but she's doing it out here on the biggest of stages, effectively. Sorry there.
What?
We saw it there. We also saw her get onto that forehand. She knows that's the big gun.
You've got to give her her flowers. I mean, Vinta's forehand. Surely, it's top 3 in the women's game right now.
Has to be given what she's done off the back of it. I mean, she's always had it, but now allied to everything else.
3,
It's
1.
a massive weapon because the setup is better than it used to be.
That's right. Because she uses such a disruptive style with the anti-spin, it actually gives her more opportunity to play forehand finishes because, well, she gets a passive ball back, a nervous ball back. Nicely done from Yingsha. High and mighty.
Snaps that, puts it away, and it goes for a little wander, little think, because she's already confronting problems here that she doesn't see at all often, if ever. But she's got such a great game, such a solidity, such a great range of attacking options.
And the fact that she's improved her backhand so much makes it even more bulletproof. And she's a forehand-orientated player, Yingsha. She loves to set that up, but she's got that as well now. How decisive can she be?
No flat slide, please.
It's going to be very difficult for Sun to play 2 consecutive attacks in this particular matchup. So she's going to have to be very selective and play one shot with the next in mind.
A couple of points now where she's been able to pounce when there's just a little bit of an opportunity there from Sabine. Oops. Back of the head stuff. The physical factor is interesting here because not just her, but Wang Manyu and Chu Jin, they were put through the ringer physically yesterday.
And mentally, I guess, too.
Well, yeah. Fatigue of the physical and mental kind will be a factor. And being around the arena earlier on, I saw 1 or 2 of these players making their way in, and you could forgive them for being a little bit leg heavy today. Sabine won't be. She was off, finished so early yesterday.
Definitely be a factor. Oh, recovers the net cord.
Oh, yes. dictating.
She's just a stone-cold player, Yingsha. Even after winning a point like that, I just had something to say. It was unbelievable. Even when she was match point down against Hanagota, afforded herself a little chuckle. It was like, man, what does it take to get on top of her mentally?
Yeah, she's enjoying it as well, you know, which is great.
One interesting path to the final for both Wang Chuqin and Yingsha.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the players that they're facing. They're not Asians, they're, you know, non-Asians.
Yeah.
Europeans, Africans.
It's been an incredible couple of draws because the women, who you might normally expect the Chinese to dominate more, they've just not had it their own way.
We felt that the champions Chongqing is a little bit of an anomaly and that the Chinese are going to come locked and loaded and batter absolutely everybody, but no, they've struggled.
You're right, and in the men's, for a couple of rounds now, Chuqin's been the last one standing, the last hope.
From the round of 16, right? Before he took on Felix Tapar. Crazy. Well here, Yingsha.
Because for all the talk about the anti-spin, for all the talk about what Sabine can do in an offensive sense, her defense is being put now to the toughest test possible in the women's game. And at the moment, she's being run around a bit.
This short serve to middle is a brilliant idea because it's so simple, but what has Vinta doing it? Unlikely that she's going to play a flick with the inverted rubber, probably going to prod it through with the ante, and then it can help Yingsha because it's going to be a no-spin ball that comes back.
But when they do get into an exchange, it's a different ball game entirely.
Can be, especially on that diagonal right there.
So Shansha's come in, as you'd imagine, as you'd expect, with a game plan, getting into it.
This is why she's so dangerous. If it's not a perfect setup from Vinta, we're going to see the signature shot of Sun. And if she plays it deep on the table with speed, it's going to be basically impossible for Vinta to recover. Into the body.
Again, the attack is relentless in this opening game.
Perfect shot off the half-long, stitching up the German star. Give her an inch, she'll take a mile.
6-10.
The ball can kind of knuckle when it comes off the anti-spin, so you've got to watch it if you're Shasha.
There's a few pointers, maybe, with 4 game points here, maybe for future games. Maybe not now, but this is an opportunity for Vinta to experiment, to try a few things. But to the fans' delight and relief, with the whole of the team watching on, Qin Yushen, the rising star, Wang Yidi in the background there, full support again from Team China. She won't for 1 minute, Yingsha, take anything for granted here. But there is a lot of pressure on Sabine here. The 33-year-old, a second phase of her career, has to keep finding the energy, the belief, the desire for moments just like this.
Yingsha. We've barely seen her stuck so far, so that's telling me that Sabine Ittf is going to have to pull out a few more tricks, a few more twiddles. Really try and take Sun Yingsha by surprise. Don't just attack with the forehand. She's got to flip the script on what Xia is going to expect in a rally.
She has to keep believing. We saw an uncharacteristically flat performance from Sabine in Chongqing when she went down in straight games to the very impressive Australian Yang Ziliu. And quite early in that match, she seemed to run out of ideas. Maybe just an off day.
It must have been. It came as a massive surprise for me.
Yes!
Especially after this Singapore Smash semi-final. Sun Yingsha playing it out the middle here. Look at that.
Right now, Xia looks as if she wants to get this done quickly. Not leave anything to chance like yesterday.
She's got an appointment in the final.
Well, she's got a bit of history to chase, remember. No woman's ever won 3 in a row in the Ittf World Cup. Wouldn't that be something? Such a hard tournament to win.
Yeah, one of the majors. Creme de la creme. Saw Liu Shiwen yesterday getting the elevator. 5-time World Cup champion, the GOAT of the World Cup.
5. That's more than any man has won. I mean, we've got Marlin sitting on the bench there. He won 4, didn't he, Marlin, right?
Yep.
Fan Jundong, modern day great.
He won 3, right? Or 4, perhaps.
4.
Level with Marlin.
He got 4, the best of the modern era.
3,
Wong Hao, who we'll see coaching Chi Chin later, he got 3. The likes of Marlon, of course. I mean, the greats.
Samsonov's up there.
Samsonov, the outlier, really, in terms of a non-Asian, non-Chinese getting up there. And we have Hugo Calderano from the Americas, the Brazilian who made history last year. Today's about history. Today's a day for legends.
Her eyes lit up. It's a good idea from Sabine Ittf, but that has its dangers as well, because if she does play the short side on the second round, Sun is more than capable of countering cross-table to the open space.
She wouldn't have minded that, though, Sabine. This looks more like it.
She got a good start in the first game, but... Oh, my word, Venter!
Now, she might not be able to do that too often, but that was crucial, because again, Xia's on the attack. Wow, that stung her. A little smile there for Tamara Boros, the coach, knowing that, yeah, that doesn't happen too often.
She's such a character, Sabine. So charismatic.
Yeah.
And she gets a really good on-the-table and off-the-table balance.
I'm glad you said that. I was just going to say, actually, we've seen her around Macau this week, and, you know, when she's not playing, she gets out and about. She's got a real exploring, adventurous mindset. She's conscious that she's on a journey. It's a life journey as well here. Now, whether that means she can have the burning desire to win these matches, well, we'll find out.
Oh! Case in point, that's what I was talking about. She might be better off trying to go into the middle off that kind of ball there, Vinter, on the pivot, because that's the danger. And Xia realistically is expecting it, isn't she, down that short side?
Yeah.
Good serve. She tried to go into the middle. Xia recovered it, but good job that Vinter is such an athlete. I was having a chat with Sabine's father, Mark, who's an Englishman. And Sabine there won the Europe Top 16 Cup. He was telling me that she's a really keen mountaineer.
6-all.
Got a mountain to climb here.
Don't you dare.
It's too easy, that one.
I was thinking about it. Not yet. It's just a gentle incline at the moment.
It's always an uphill battle, though, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Even at 6-all.
How on earth how do you take on this aura? How do you take on her pedigree background? How do you take on the army of fans screaming here in support of her?
Oh! Xia getting it back. Vinter trying to play the backhand rip. Recovering another Xia forehand. Clever shot from Sun. Using the pace, just slowing down the rally.
She's getting a lot right here, and Sabina's having to just do an awful lot just to win a point.
6-4.
Again, Yingsha serving and touching a lot of balls into the middle of the table to get a floater back off the ante. Because anti-spin is allergic to spin, it kills it. So if you don't give it spin, you get nothing back.
Very smart, very, very smart tactics.
Happened again, just pulling away. Once it's close, she finds the wiggle room, ups the ante. Basically a carbon copy of the opener, this one.
Yeah, 4 game points again. She's looking so good, Xia. Halfway down. And Marlin offering lots of vocal encouragement. The team China, who are just sat a little bit to the side of the table here, they like what they see. The fans love what they see. She's 2 games up. And now, it's looking like a mountain to climb.
This is what makes Yingsha the world #1, the back-to-back world champion, the back-to-back World Cup champion. A young player who's already featured in 2 Olympic finals. We saw Wang Manyu struggling against Vinter in the semi-final of the Singapore Smash. Significant spells of play. Xia just has that aura, has that killer instinct to just steamroll opponents that you think might have some kind of chance.
A break there, but I'm glad you mentioned the aura. I think it's a huge factor, and we've seen evidence of that this week. Whether it's just taking her time around the table or just the body language, just little subtle things that get into the face and into the head of the opponent. And remember, everywhere Sabine goes here, just as anywhere in China, she'll be surrounded by reminders. Xia's face, her fans, everywhere.
There's something chilling about the way that she chills. She's so comfortable out here. So comfortable in her own skin, in her own game.
The shark, cruising in search of the next meal.
Vinter trying to be very, very aggressive. It's important that he doesn't try to overcompensate. I think Vinter would normally come firing out with a few more long serves, but she's worried about what Xia can do. There we see it. You know, Vinter normally, when she does play a long serve, gets a nervy return. Not against Sun.
This is turning into a massive problem for the German right now. She's going to be at a crossroads.
That was nice. Got the anti-spin on the forehand side. You can't show where you're going to go, what you're going to do too soon. You're going to to make split-second decisions. No timeout yet from Winter.
It's good that you raised that point then, because she just showed quite a bit of frustration off that last point there. This is a bit of torment for the German.
Yep. UFO. Oh, forehand on the lead. She's locking down that diagonal.
She's getting schooled here, quite frankly, and she's running out of ideas.
Sasha's not even having to budge. Forehand bias stood there on the backhand side.
She can indulge herself, really. She can allow herself the luxury of going for something, such as the dominance she's got here on the scoreboard and more broadly over Winter. Maybe we see it so often we take it for granted, but there are few, if any, finer than Sasha when it comes to just executing that kind of shot. She's under heavy fire, Sabine.
As soon as she begins to pivot, Sasha can find the crossover with a backhand rip. Oh, this is just a masterclass. This is humbling for Sabine.
It is, and it's kind of tough to see. You just look at her face now, and she's the most gung-ho, bullish, positive person, but this is taking its toll on her.
Has to try and get Sasha out to that wide forehand as soon as possible, Sabine. And that will be the same kind of tactics you've got to try and exploit for the rest of this match. She can't play it into the backhand, she can barely play it into the middle of Sasha. Get her out to that wide forehand as soon as possible.
She's on the brink of a 3-love lead here. 7 game points for the world #1 for the World Cup. Defending champion. And that's that. Wrapped up nice and neatly and very quickly as well. 11-3. She's getting more and more dominant. And it's beginning to look as if there's no way back here for the German. Yes, she'll have a medal here in Macao, China, but she's miles away from the final right now. You know, Fraser, given what we're seeing here, massive credit to Hannah Goddard for what she did yesterday. To take Sasha, who is destroying Sabine Bindi here, as far as she could, and almost to beat her. I know it's not going to make her feel any better, but boy, what a performance that was. Because this one feels like it's going to be over very, very quickly. And when you look to the final, it will be a real plus for Sasha if she can get this done and give herself a bit more time. We don't know who she's playing yet, whether it's Manu or Shin Yubin, but she'll have plenty of time to prepare for it. If Sabine can't somehow fight back.
Looks like escape from Xiao against Tanagota has made it even more dangerous right now. It's when you've stared defeat in the face and come out on top when you've been a point away from losing and you've won. I mean, that tells you all you need to know about who you're dealing with. Someone who has learned to lose, someone who doesn't fear. That is the ultimate definition of danger on sport.
Oh, wow.
But I do want to give my props to Hanagota because she's been closer to defeating Yingsha than anybody. You know, you can look at the Japanese, look at everybody else. Hanagota was the closest.
Here's the timeout and a bit of humour there for Sabine. At least she can laugh about it as she talks to Tanagota. This is getting very modest. This is getting very, very difficult.
She's big. I would just take one foot, one forward, and put she goes to enter. And when she from forward, then back to back. This is okay, one more I try now. The one on my next serve, and later I try the other.
Yeah,
which do I
and when she's making the don't know how
What a phenomenal fighter. You know, as a European myself, it's incredible to see a European woman now who can really live up to the standard that the top Asian players set. You know, at the finals at the end of last season, we didn't see a single non-Asian woman there in the top 16. Vinta is knocking on the door of the top 10 in the world. Yes, she's up against the world #1. Yes, she's unlikely to win here. But the future certainly looks bright in this new Olympic cycle.
Yeah, it does. She's got to learn to kick on now because she got beaten 4-1, having put up a good fight against Wang Manyu in the Singapore Smash semi-final. So it's next level stuff now for her.
That's it. And you have to imagine, if you assume any rate of natural progression, she will get even better with this style.
4-1.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's going to have to be able to process this, because this is a semi-final humbling, really, we're witnessing here.
It's just so cold. The way in which she wins. Look at it.
So cold for Vinta, who looks like she can't weather this storm. No way, no how.
It's a blizzard.
And let 1-5.
Rocket forehand.
5.
Such jagged technique on the forehand, Vinta. It's actually difficult to read where she's going to play it. Good serve.
5-3.
Like a dart. Loads of backspin. Quick. Deep on the table. Shima stepping in, caught off guard.
All in, all or nothing. Hurled herself into that forehand, Kuchin style.
It's a bit of a breakdance move, isn't it?
There she goes. That's commitment. Embodied. And she's within 1 point.
the thing, when you play it deep and quick, Vinter can only really get the pad on there with the ante. Shallow on one foot, swaps it home. So in future clashes between these two, it's going to be Vinter's prerogative to try and stop that. How do you stop Shah from playing powerfully into that backhand?
Yeah, she's just about home, isn't she now?
Yeah, showing absolutely no sign of slowing. Showing her class and blowing past the German. Just when you look like Vinter was beginning to mount a bit of a comeback. Shah wins a hat-trick of points. She's just 3 away. Beautiful shot. Sets it up with the ante. She wasn't confident to do anything else other than push. Yeah. It's Vinter's bread and butter.
Left 5-9.
Service error. The first we've seen. It sets up 5 match points for Sun Yingsha. Done and dusted. She's through to the final, the world #1. She defeats the anti-spin star, the European #1 Sabine without dropping a single game. Will it be a hat-trick here today? Will she be the first woman to win 3 World Cup titles on the bounce? We will find out later on in the second session. Who will she face? Will it be the history-making Korean Shin Yu-bin or her nemesis, Wang Mengyu, in what will probably be the defining era match? Wang Mengyu, remember, looking for her first World Cup title here. Quiet nod of satisfaction.